Plug yourself into the machine. Become one. Become Apple's new icon. DNA straight to the screen.
Hey folks, welcome back to Floyd's Vintage Guitars. Before we get started, please subscribe, please like this video, please comment, please share, and I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Hey folks, well today I'm sitting here with my 1973 Gibson Les Paul Custom. And the reason I pulled that weird face when I said that was because the dates on the serial numbers during that era were really dodgy, right? So I got all the Gibson. They said it was between a 1970 and a 1974. The owner that I bought this guitar from said that he bought it in 1973 at a shop in Vienna, and the sticker of the shop is still here on the back of the headstock. So that tells me it's probably a 72, possibly a 73. So that's that. So it's an early 70s, definitely pre-74 according to Gibson. So I've said a million times on my channel that my favorite Les Pauls are the 70s Les Pauls for numerous reasons. I love the volute neck. I love the three-piece neck because they give a stability that the other necks just don't give. These necks are rock stiff, okay? And with that, I find you get a crazy amount of sustain. And the only thing different between these and my other Les Pauls are the necks. So I attribute that insane sustain, say that 20 times fast. I attribute that insane sustain to the neck. It's the only thing different. I mean, the pickups are pretty much the same, the wood's all the same, but the only real difference for me is the neck. So to me, not only does it make the neck a lot stronger, a lot stiffer, a lot less likely to break, to me they sound a hell of a lot better. But that's just my opinion. The other reason why I love these guitars is you can pick them up at such a good price compared to your 60s Les Pauls or your 70s or 50s Les Pauls, should we say. To me, with this, you're still getting a vintage Gibson Les Paul. It feels like a vintage. It sounds like a vintage, but it hasn't reached that crazy point of price yet. But I promise you guys that is coming. People are very quickly catching on that these are some of the best Gibsons ever made in history. Let alone the awesome cases, the coffin cases that these came in. Absolutely love them too. So this particular guitar has had a couple of changes on it. For me, I think the changes are great. You'll see in the video that I'm going through all the different variables that you can get out of this guitar as far as pickups and tone goes, right? Saying that, the changes he has made to this guitar is this, okay? There's a push-pull on that volume, which changes the back pickup, the bridge pickup from a humbucker to a single coil. Then you've got a switch here that changes the middle position from in phase and out of phase. Now, if you've ever listened to Peter Green or Gary Moore or anybody else, Jimmy Page, oh my God, I can't believe. I met Jimmy once at a Burger King on tour in England. Can you believe it? And I was too shy to say anything to him. So my band manager dragged me by my hand and said, "Come on, you got to meet him." And I stood there like a kid. I was a kid, but I stood there dumbfounded and amazed. And here was my hero standing in front of me. So, quick story. It's gone. Okay. The beauty of these mods is that you can get all kinds of tones through this guitar. I'm not going to lie and say you can get a Strat tone, because you can't. But what you can get is all kinds of variables on a humbucker. A little less bass, a lot less drive. And those tones really count when you're playing clean. When you're playing distortion, you don't hear as much. A light overdrive, for me, is where they really stand out. You know, but I'm old school. I like to put a guitar around my neck that can give me those options when playing live, depending on what kind of song I'm doing. If I'm doing a more laid-back song, it's easy. Flip of the switch, and now you're into out of phase, and you've got almost like a honky-tonk telly sound. If I want something a bit more light, click that, pull out the knob, and now you're dealing with a single coil at the back, which completely changes the sound between the neck humbucker and the bridge, you know. And by the way, the bridge pickup is a Seymour Duncan. Wonderful pickup, huge tone, huge clean tone, lots of bottom end, and still one of my favorite humbuckers ever is this particular one here. So, other than that, this guitar, I mean, small thing, the little gold cover for this tuner is gone, but it doesn't affect the tuner at all, it's just cosmetic. The top is in pretty good condition. A scratch there, it's had some life to it. Frets are good, neck is great, pickups are good, electronics are all good. So all in all, an absolutely killer Les Paul custom from 1973, you know. Now, the difference between this guitar and my 1978 Gold Top, which I've just noticed in my screen over there, you can't see, that's a 78 with P90s. Now, I love the P90s for a more laid-back, almost jazzy tone. I love them for that. P90s are actually probably my favorite pickups, to be honest with you. But when I want to rock, if I'm doing a Led Zeppelin tribute, or I'm playing some ZZ Top, or I really want to get that Marshall over there cooking, I'm going to pick up this guitar every single time, because these pickups are just monstrous. They make playing easy, and that's the best way I can describe it. I can play fast. I'm not a fast guitar player, but on this guitar, with the humbuckers cooking, I can play fast, like pretty fast, you know, which that's not me. That's this guitar making it easy for me. And I think that is the real joy of humbuckers. That's the real joy of humbuckers, is that they, to me, they make your life a little bit easier as a guitar player, because they're picking up so many harmonics, and you don't have to hit the strings hard to get the feedback you want from your guitar. So as a killer tone machine, it's going to be this one every time. And I just want to add one more thing. Okay, I've got a custom. I've got a custom in my hands. I've got a deluxe over there with P90s. I've got a couple of standards, and I know I've read this before on other reviews of the custom Les Pauls. There's something about the customs that just make them unique. They feel different, they feel unique, they sound unique, but most of all, the Les Paul customs for me sustain better than any other Gibson Les Paul out there. And I'm talking from experience. If you go back into my video history, there's 2 or 3 Les Paul Customs that from the 70s that I've reviewed already. And it, you know, it's the stupid thing where I'm playing a note and I'm holding it and it just goes on forever and ever and ever and ever. And you know that old thing, you can leave a guitar, go make a cup of tea, come back, still playing the note. Honestly, it's true. My standards don't do that. That guitar over there with the P90s certainly doesn't do that. There's something about the Gibson Les Paul Customs that they're custom. They are standalone, unique, incredible instruments, which for me makes them just, what a pleasure to own. See you next time.
Plug yourself into the machine. Become one. Become Apple's new icon. Dealer straight to the screen.